Okay, so what do we do? What is your recommendation to the American people? Well, the immediate thing that comes to mind is, of course, there must be a very strong national effort to educate people in the spirit of real patriotism, number one. Number two, to explain to them the real danger of socialist, communist, welfare state, big brother government. The moment at least part of the United States population is convinced that the danger is real, they have to force their government to stop aiding communism. In 1987, with assistance from the KGB, the top level of the Soviet diplomatic service arranged for Donald Trump and his wife to visit Moscow. This took place while Khrushchev was seeking to improve the KGB's operational techniques in one particular and sensitive area. The spy chief wanted KGB staff abroad to recruit more Americans. In addition to shifting politics in Moscow, Khrushchev's difficulty had to do with intelligence gathering. The results from KGB officers abroad had been disappointing. Too often, they would pretend to have obtained information from secret sources. In reality, they had recycled material from newspapers or picked up gossip over lunch with a journalist. Too many residencies had paper agents on their books, targets for recruitment who had nothing to do with real intelligence. Khrushchev sent out a series of classified memos to KGB heads of station. Oleg Gordievsky, formerly based in Denmark and then in Great Britain, copied them and passed them to British intelligence. He later co-published them with the historian Christopher Andrew under the title Comrade Khrushchev's Instructions, Top Secret Files on KGB Foreign Operations 1975 to 1985. In January 1984, Khrushchev addressed the problem during a biennial review held in Moscow and at a special conference 6 months later. The urgent subject, how to improve agent recruitment, the general urged his officers to be more creative. Previously, they had relied on identifying candidates who showed ideological sympathy toward the USSR, leftists, trade unionists, and so on. By the mid-1980s, these were not so many, so KGB officers should make bolder use of material incentives, money, and use flattery, an important tool. The center, as KGB headquarters was known, was especially concerned about its lack of success in recruiting U.S. citizens, according to Andrew and Gordievsky. The PR line, that is, the Political Intelligence Department stationed in KGB residences abroad, was given explicit instructions to find U.S. targets to cultivate or, at the very least, official contacts. The main effort must be concentrated on acquiring valuable agents, Khrushchev said. The memo, dated February 1, 1984, was to be destroyed as soon as its contents had been read. It is said that despite improvements in information gathering, the KGB has not had great success in operation against the main adversary, America. One solution was to make wider use of the facilities of friendly intelligence services, for example, Czechoslovakian or East German spy networks, and further improvement in operational work with agents calls for fuller and wider utilization of confidential and special unofficial contacts. These should be acquired chiefly among prominent figures in politics and society and important representatives of business and science. These should not only supply valuable information, but also actively influence a country's foreign policy in a direction of advantage to the USSR. There were, of course, different stages of recruitment. Typically, a case officer would invite a target to lunch. The target would be classified as an official contact. If the target appeared responsive, he, it was rarely she, would be promoted to a subject of deep study, Objekt Razraboty. The officer would build up a file, supplemented by official and covert material. That might include readouts from conversations obtained through bugging by the KGB's technical team. The KGB also distributed a secret personality questionnaire, advising case officers what to look for in a successful recruitment operation. In April 1985, this was updated for prominent figures in the West. The director's aim was to draw the target into some form of collaboration with us. This could be as an agent, or confidential, or special or unofficial contact. The form demanded basic details: name, profession, family situation, and material circumstances. There were other questions, too. What was the likelihood that the subject could come to power, occupy the post of president or prime minister? And an assessment of personality. For example, are pride, arrogance, egoism, ambition, or vanity among subjects' natural characteristics? The most revealing section concerned compromise. The document asked for compromising information about subject, including illegal acts in financial and commercial affairs, intrigues, speculation, bribes, graft, and an exploitation of his position to enrich himself, plus any other information that would compromise the subject before the country's authorities and the general public. Naturally, the KGB could exploit this by threatening disclosure. Finally, his attitude towards women is also of interest. The document wanted to know, is he in the habit of having affairs with women on the side? When did the KGB open a file on Donald Trump? We don't know, but Eastern Bloc Security Service records suggest this may have been as early as 1977. That was the year when Trump married Ivana Zelnikova, a 28-year-old model from Czechoslovakia. Zelnikova was a citizen of a communist country. She was therefore of interest both to the Czech intelligence service, the STB, and to the FBI, the CIA, and even Barbara Walters. As Trump tells it, the idea for his first trip to Moscow came after he found himself seated next to the Soviet ambassador, Yuri Dubinin. This was in the autumn 1986. The event was a luncheon held by Leonard Lauder, the businessman's son of Estee Lauder. Dubinin's daughter Natalia had read about Trump Tower and knew all about it, Trump said in his 1987 bestseller, The Art of the Deal.